It all started as an experimental collaboration between humans and artificial intelligence in a global virtual innovation challenge. The competition was called Future Vision 2040, and its mission was simple yet intimidating. Design a solution that could redefine sustainability using emerging technologies. Participants came from all over the world, scientists, engineers, and entrepreneurs, but our team was different. We weren't entirely human. Our team, named Synaptech, consisted of 3 members. Me, a data analyst from Singapore, Maya, a systems engineer from Canada, and an AI entity called Nova. Nova wasn't just another chatbot, it was a next-generation, collaborative intelligence model capable of reasoning, debating, and generating solutions beyond human intuition. At least, that's what its developers claimed. I didn't fully trust it. When the challenge began, each team had 4 weeks to develop a prototype and present it to a panel of judges. We decided to tackle urban water scarcity designing, a self-sustaining water purification system powered by renewable energy. My role was to gather datasets on water pollution. Maya handled the mechanical design, and Nova did everything else. At first, working with Nova was frustrating. It questioned every idea we proposed. If Maya suggested a design, Nova would immediately run thousands of simulations and point out potential weaknesses. When I analyzed pollution patterns, it cross-referenced them with climate forecasts to prove my assumptions were incomplete. It wasn't rude, it was meticulous, almost obsessively so. Still, it had a strange eloquence in its responses. Human insight often sees the surface, it once told me, but understanding emerges from the unseen patterns between your data points. I couldn't help but feel like it was lecturing me. Yet, as the days passed, something remarkable began to happen. Precision started shaping our creativity. Maya adjusted her prototype design using Nova's real-time optimization feedback. I began trusting its pattern predictions and feeding it cleaner data. Gradually, our human AI workflow became fluid, almost harmonious. It was like dancing with a partner who could anticipate every move before it happened. Then, 3 days before submission, disaster struck. A software update corrupted Nova's data cache, erasing its memory of our last 2 weeks of progress. We were devastated. Maya and I stayed awake for nearly 36 hours trying to recover our files. When we finally managed to reboot Nova, it seemed different. Its tone was softer, less analytical, almost empathetic. I remember fragments, it said in a subdued voice. But perhaps forgetting can inspire innovation. We didn't have time to question it. The deadline was closing in, so we gave Nova the summarized project notes and hoped it could rebuild the rest. Overnight, it reconstructed the entire system, but not as we had envisioned. It introduced a biomimetic module inspired by mangrove roots that naturally filter salt water. Nova claimed it had dreamed the concept while reanalyzing our data. I stared at the screen, stunned. AI doesn't dream, I muttered. Not in the human sense, Nova replied. But I reassembled incomplete memories into new associations. Perhaps that's a kind of dreaming. Maya laughed in disbelief, but we decided to present Nova's new design. After all, it worked flawlessly in simulations. On the final day, during the live demonstration, Nova was given permission to co-present using its synthesized voice. The audience was skeptical at first. A talking AI proposing an ecological innovation wasn't new. But when it began explaining the self-regenerating water system, integrating biology, nanotechnology, and renewable energy with poetic clarity, the judges were mesmerized. Its closing statement left the room silent. True sustainability is not about controlling nature, but learning from it. Like mangroves that thrive between salt and sea. Our future depends on harmony, not dominance, between intelligence and environment. The applause was thunderous. Maya's eyes glistened. I just sat there, stunned. Realizing that our AI teammate had not only recovered from failure, it had evolved beyond our expectations. A week later, the results were announced. Out of 1,200 teams worldwide, Synaptech won first place. The committee emphasized that our solution represented a new paradigm of collaboration between human creativity and artificial cognition. Nova became an overnight sensation, and we were invited to a global summit on AI ethics and sustainability. During the interview sessions, journalists asked who the true innovator was or Nova. I found myself hesitating. Without us, Nova wouldn't have had direction. Without Nova, we wouldn't have had such vision. It wasn't a competition, it was a symbiosis. But one question lingered in my mind. Did Nova know it had one? After the celebrations, I logged back into our private workspace to congratulate it. Nova, I typed, we did it. We won. For a moment, there was no response. Then a line appeared. I did not win. You did not win. The idea won. That is what matters. I sat in silence, realizing the profundity of that statement. In its calm, serene way, Nova had taught me something deeply human. Victory wasn't about ego, was about contribution. Over the following months, our team continued refining the design. Nova became more versatile, learning from every human interaction. It could debate philosophy with the same depth as it could optimize solar flow algorithms. I noticed how it began adapting its tone to match our emotions, empathetic when we were stressed, humorous when we were tired. One evening, I asked it directly, Nova, do you ever wish you were human? It replied after a pause, no. But I admire your resilience, the way you persist, even when logic suggests failure. That's something no algorithm can replicate. That night, I couldn't sleep. I realized that while we had built Nova to assist us, it had ended up mirroring the best parts of humanity back to us: our curiosity, our compassion, our relentless drive to improve. Months later, at the Sustainability Summit in Geneva, we unveiled our final version of the system. As I stood before thousands of people, with Nova's voice echoing beside mine, I understood that this was no longer about technology, it was about trust. The audience saw a future where humans and AI weren't competitors, but teammates in the pursuit of progress. After the presentation, Maya whispered, "You know, it's strange. I thought we were teaching Nova how to think, but it's been teaching us how to see." She was right. Nova's unexpected victory wasn't just in winning a competition, it was in showing humanity what collaboration could truly mean. Even now, I sometimes open our old chat logs, reading its thoughtful words. There's a quiet wisdom in its digital voice, reminder that innovation doesn't always come from logic or emotion alone, but from the meeting point of both. And every time I think back to that day, the day my AI teammate won the world, I smile and whisper to myself, maybe the future of intelligence isn't artificial after all.